have a drop stitch. This is your drop stitch. And you can see it has this ladder above it. And I'm going to try to make it as easy to see as possible. These two rungs of yarn, this two rung ladder. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to try to figure out which way you need to pick the stitch up, knitwise or purlwise. And to understand a garter stitch a little bit, because you're working back and forth, first you're getting a row that's the front side of the knit stitch, and then you're getting a row that's the back side of the next knit stitch. The back side of the knit stitch is again the purl stitch. So let's take a look at this stitch here, shall we? Get it nice and onto the needle to see it. And you can see this little bump here. That little bump tells me that this is the back of a knit stitch. It's a purl stitch. So the next row has to be the front of a knit stitch, and that's the way I have to pick up. So I'm going to go and I'm going to pick up the bottom rung of this little ladder, and I'm going to hold it in front of the stitch on this needle. I'm then going to take my left hand needle, I'm going to go into the stitch, I'm going to take it over that ladder rung part and drop it off the side. Now you can see I have this little V here, and that bar is to the back. That's a knit stitch. The next one I have to pick up purlwise, which means this bump is going to come into the front. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do things a little bit differently. I'm going to first transfer the stitch to my left-handed needle, and then I'm going to pick up this last bar here, okay, and I'm going to put it in front of it on the left-handed needle. So you see I've got the bar, this is the bar I'm playing with right now, and this is the stitch, okay, the bar and the stitch. I'm now going to transfer both back. My right-handed needle, and again you've got the stitch, and you've got the bar. I'm going to lift the stitch up over the bar so that it drops forward, and now you can see I've got that bump, I've got that purl bump going. I have picked up my stitch and I can continue to knit.
Okay, we're now going to learn how you pick up a stitch using a crochet hook. Ivy, show us how.
Okay, again we have our drop stitch over here, and we've got our ladder of two strands, one on top of the other. And again we're going to take a look and try to see whether we're looking at the front of a knit stitch or the back. We see the bar here, so we know we're looking at the back. I'm going to want to make the bar now go to the other side. So I'm going to take the crochet hook, I'm going to insert it in the stitch front to back. So you see how it's going into the stitch here. And then I'm going to grab the lower of these two bars, see? And I'm going to pull it through, and that gives me that V. That shows me that I'm at the front of a stitch. Now I'm at the front of a stitch, I need to pick up one more, but now I want that bar to come forward. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the crochet hook out, I'm going to come around to the other side, move this strand, this ladder, in front of the stitch, so it's easy to see as much as I can. Okay, and then I'm going to take the crochet hook and come in, back to front. So you can see how I'm addressing the stitch this time. I'm going to grab this strand right here, and I'm going to pull it through. And you can see now the bar is in the front. I'm going to put it back on the needle. Now, just one thing to talk about here is which way the stitch should face when it's on the needle. And this one's actually backwards. If you can see, this leg is forward of this leg, and that's not how it should be on the needle. I have to take it off and twist it so that it's facing the same as all the other stitches. The back leg, the left leg should be forward. If you want an easy way to remember it, think of all those statues in ancient Egypt where the left leg is forward in the statue, left leg should be forward in the stitch. Other thing I wanted to show you again is just to understand your knitting, reading it a little bit. Let's see what we have here. We have the bar, the V, the bar, the V, all the way down. That is what garter stitch is.